Thank you.
So this is where
How are you?
I conduct the business from.
You are almost every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Yes.
In the night. Please come in, you're not welcome.
Well, Your Excellency, I will request you to, in a few seconds, just sign out.
Okay.
Oh, they are first signing, sorry.
Oh, yes.
But it could have been the room is small. They should have first. Yes.
So this is where
How are you?
I conduct the business from.
You are almost every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Yes.
In the night.
Well, Your Excellency.
John. Yeah. Come again? Ah, okay, I'll wait for it.
Sorry.
Are there others who still waiting?
Yes.
Papa gwenga bwotyo bw'oyagala naawe okugobayo abalala ffenna twagala kubanga oli bwakugamba n'okuteerakoteeza
kiwali wasimata ayogera bikinaawo naye wasinemu naye alikola bonna bebamu Kamu kwanza.
Is that okay? Huh? All right, so today this This morning, the leadership of the National Unity Platform had guests, a couple of ambassadors from the European Union paid a courtesy all honors. We had the EU head of delegation, we had the French ambassador, we had the Netherlands ambassador, we had the Hungarian ambassador, Austrian ambassador, Swedish ambassador, Irish ambassador, and the Danish ambassador. They came to pay us a courtesy visit. We are now a full-fledged political party as the People Power movement. We have previously interacted with them on various fronts. So their coming here to our party headquarters is one, because we are stakeholders in this country as the National Unity Platform. So ambassadors in this country that come from various parts of the country do come because Uganda is part of the international community. So what happens here in Uganda is of concern to the rest of the world. Just like what happens in Sudan, in Somalia is of concern to Uganda. That's why we are there as a country. So what happens here in Uganda is of concern to the international community of which Uganda is part. So our interaction with them was on many fronts. The goings on here in our country, our political party, the plans that we have going forward with the election, and a plethora of other elements really to do with our country, readiness for the election. Of course, I may not give all the nitty-gritty, but it was a very good meeting. It was a fruitful meeting. They shared their thoughts. We did share ours about everything that's ongoing. They normally meet with President Museveni and government officials because they're here on duty representing their countries. But in the same vein, the way they meet with government officials, they know that we are stakeholders too as the National Unity Platform. So that's why they decided to meet up with us, to interact with us among various different engagements. Olunaku lwa leero ffe nga aba National Unity Platform, obukulembeze bwa National Unity Platform, tufunye abagenyi ba ambassadors b'amawanga ag'enjawulo. Omu ye ambassador akulira delegation ya European Union, tubadde ne ambassador wa France, ambassador wa Netherlands, ambassador wa Hungary, ambassador wa Austria, ambassador wa Sweden, ambassador wa Ireland ne ambassador wa Denmark. Bazze okukyalira obukulembeze bwa National Unity Platform wano ku kitebe kyaffe okuwayamuko ku nsonga ez'enjawulo. Bambasada bano batera okusinkana abakulu mu government, President Museveni ne banne mu government okuwayamuko ku bigenda maaso mu ggwanga kuba bali wano ng'abatume. Naye mu buufu bwebo naffe bazze okuwayamuko naffe kubanga naffe tulina paati gye tuzannya mu ggwanga lye tulimu. Ate kaakano tulina kibiina kya byabufuzi nga NUP, National Unity Platform. So nga bazze tuwayemuko ku nsonga ez'enjawulo ebigenda maaso mu ggwanga, ne tubawa endowooza zaffe, of course tubabuulira ebikwata ku kibiina kyaffe nga National Unity Platform. Nabo of course notuyozaayoza batuyozayozezza olw'okubanga tetwafuusa abakulembeze ab'ekibiina kya National Unity Platform, nabo ne batuwa endowooza zaabwe. Ebisinga bye tuwayizaamuko bibadde byakafubo kaffe, nyinza obutabibabuulira, naye meeting ebadde nnungi nga tuwayamuko n'abakulu bano. Yes, of course they did talk to us about the upcoming election. They shared their concerns because our elections always have issues, just like our Supreme Court of this country has said several times. They talk about fairness, they talk about voter bribery, intimidation. That has been said by our Supreme Court. The violence, I mean, because an election does not happen just on the D-Day, but it's an entire process. Honorable Kyagulanyi, team leader, cannot go out there and hold consultations. He is barred from going to radio stations. All these are concerns, which concerns they also hope to discuss with the people in government, because it's important. It's important that there gets to be fairness. It's important that the ground gets to be level. Ensonga ya kalulu akabindabinda weewaawo nga kkooti yaffe ensukulu eya Uganda bwezze ekyogerako nti obululu bwaffe wano si bwa mazima, bubeeramu okubbirira, bubeeramu okutiisatiisa n'ebirala. Weewaawo n'abakulu bano nabo balina okwemulugunya ku nsonga ezimu, era nga batutegeezezaako nti bajja tuula n'abakulu mu gavumenti boogere ku nsonga zino ezimu. Ono Kyagulanyi, for example, bamugaana okukola consultations, wagenda ku zi radio bamugaana tiyagaasi n'emigo, abantu baffe bazze bakuba nga batta. So nsonga nkulu, era nabo nga batukakasiza nti bajja kuwaayamuko n'abakulu mu gavumenti ku nsonga zino. Kyetaagisiza ddala obululu bwaffe, era n'engeri eggwanga lyettu bwe litwalibwamu bubeere nga bwakyenkanya, nti Uganda tebeeramu baana n'ebyana. Yes, sir. So all the 8 ambassadors that we hosted here this morning, their countries heavily fund President Museveni's government. Very heavily, by the way. And they're not shy about that, because they are here as development partners, and so they extend support, not just to the government, but to the people of Uganda, and they continuously do that. Now, yes, there have always been rumors, especially by the state, that Honorable Kyagulanyi, NUP, they're funded by foreign governments and all of that. The state will keep driving that narrative. We actually wish we were funded by them. Unfortunately, we are not. But of course, the people who are saying the foreigners fund us are the very ones who are funded by these foreigners for many of their activities. They fund greatly our health, our governance, you know, education, and all these different sectors. We, as the National Unity Platform, the wind beneath our wings, are Ugandans. Ugandans here and Ugandans in the diaspora. So for foreign governments to engage with us, they engage with us because they know we are stakeholders. Forget about people in government who will very many times say, no, those ones are young people, they are bayai, they don't know what they're up to. There are people out there who take us very seriously. So the same way they will sit with President Museveni and ministers in the current and outgoing government and engage with them, they sit with us too and engage with us because they see potential in us, okay? They see potential of us actually being the potential next leaders of this country. So we are stakeholders, and so when they come to engage with us, it is on that front, one as stakeholders, but as leaders in this country who have a stake in everything that is happening. Government ya Museveni batera okuyisa engambo ne propaganda. Ono Kyagulanyi NUP abazungu bebateeka mu sente n'engamba sokoleke. Ate government ya Museveni abazungu basinga bateeka mu sente. Kubanga ba ambassadors betukyaziza leero, ba ambassadors 8 bonna ensi zaabwe bateekamu nnyo sente mu gavumenti ya Museveni n'ebigenda mu maaso, ebyobujjanjabi, ebyobulimi, ebyokusoma n'ebirala bateekamu nnyo sente. So kati gavumenti ya Museveni begamba nti ate ffe abazungu batuwa sente, ate nga abazungu bebasinga okubawa sente, kyennyamiza. Ffe nga National Unity Platform abasinga okututeekamu amaanyi era abatuteekeramu ddala ensimbi be bannayuganda. Bannayuganda abali wano ne bannayuganda abali ebunaayira. Of course, ba ambassadors bano okuva mu mawanga ag'enjawulo okujja okuwaayamuko naffe lwakubanga batulabamu omulamuwa era batulabanga abakulembeze. So nti leero bayinza okusinkana gavumenti ya Museveni ne baministers be ne bawaayamuko ku bigenda mu maaso, ate olw'enkya ne bajja otusisinkana kubanga batulabanga abakulembeze, batulabanga abalina omulamwa, era by the way balaba nti kisobokera ddala ffe okufuuka abakulembeze ab'enkya. So kwe kujja bawayeemuko naffe mu ngeri ez'enjawulo. Is that all for the questions? Yeah, so when ambassadors interact with people like us, of course they are here on behalf of their governments, and so when they interact with President Museveni, they give feedback to their governments. When they interact with NUP, like they have done today, they obviously give feedback to their governments, but also they get to interact with Mr. Museveni's government. One of the concerns we keep raising with them is to say, for example, you avail a lot of funding to security, as an example. And that's a good thing because we're a poor country, so we appreciate funding that comes from wherever. But it's important that they monitor how this funding gets to be operationalized, you know, because many of the security arsenal and apparatus that they bought is the very one that is being used by police and the army to brutalize our people. The gun that killed Yasin Kauma in Arua is probably a gun that was funded, that was bought by these foreign governments. You know, the gun that was used to kill Daniel Cheyune in Nansana is probably a gun that was bought by these foreign governments. And so we keep telling them, yes, we appreciate your funding to a country like ours, but please do monitor such that these funds get to be utilized very well, because also it has happened several times that many times when they give funding, it is stolen by people in government. This money is meant to be used and to benefit the very poor of our country, but many times government officials steal this money, they misappropriate it. And so our continuous message to them is, yes, we appreciate the funding, let it keep coming, but please monitor and make sure it gets to be utilized well for the very purposes which you sent it to do. Bannaffe bano batuwa obuyambi ensi ez'enjawulo, era ffe obuyambi bwabwe tubwaniriza era nga tubweyanza, naye tusingira ddala bategeeza nti obuyambi bwebasindika balondoole nnyo bukoze ekyo kye babusindika okukola. Amawanga gano for example gasinga okutuwa ssente ng'eggwanga okukola ku nsonga za security, okugula amamundu n'ebirala. Balondoole nnyo okulaba nti obuyambi buno bugenda bulina okugenda nti ate ssente zino zikozesebwa bulungi, so si bannaffe bano abali mu gavumenti okuzibba okuzikozesa bo kye baagala bo nga bo. All right. Is that it? Kale, asante sana. Mbu Swahili. Sasa hii ni Afrika Mashariki. Mungu awabariki sana.